Today we're going to learn how to use the liquify function, which is a pretty cool way to distort images. To apply the liquify function, you're going to need to press Command-Shift-X. And when you do, this window pops up. And let's take a look around. On the left side of the screen, we've got a number of options. We'll come back to that in a second. On the right side, we've got a menu with a few options as well. And in the lower left-hand corner, we've got a plus and minus sign. That's going to let us zoom in and out. So do that accordingly. Next, you're going to need to click on the top tool, this one with the finger. That's our forward warp tool. So if you select that, what you can then do is if you click and you drag, you can influence the way the image looks like so. So I thought Matthias was happy before, but now clearly he's ecstatic about learning how to use the gradient tool. Nice. Tremendous. So let's experiment with a few more of these tools. I'm actually going to press M for the marquee. I'm going to select just this area and then press Command-Shift-X. So now we're going to be liquefying just the area we specified, and we learned how to use the forward warp tool, right? So if I wanted to go like this, nice, that's interesting. If we decided we did not want to do that, on the right side of the screen you could click Restore All, and it's back to where we initially started. So we've got a few more fun tools. This is the bloat tool, and if you select that and then let's say click right here, you can change the shape of her eyes. If we select the tool right above it, it's called the pucker tool. It's going to do the opposite. Instead of bloating things, it'll shrink it. Nice. And then we can then mix and match. We can use the forward warp tool in combination. Nice. All right. Tremendous. What else can we do with the liquify function? We're going to press Command-Shift-X, and I'll zoom in just a little bit. Great. And instead of the forward warp tool and this puck and bloat tool, I'm going to click on this like swirl tool. And when we do, and you hold down with the left click, you'll notice that it spins clockwise. And if you hold down Alt, what's going to happen is it spins counterclockwise. A few more things. You're going to notice on the right side we've got brush size, density, pressure, brush rate, etc. I certainly encourage you to experiment. Primarily though, you're going to be only influencing brush size. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So there you've got Cole looking pretty sharp. Nice. Today, what's our assignment? You're going to be recreating emotions from Making Comics by Scott McCloud. And to do that, you're going to use the PNGs using the selections that we created last week. You're going to copy and paste them right over these heads. For example, there we've got sadness. Right next to it, we've got surprise. We've got anger. Pretty easy, but please pay attention. We're going to have fun. So what I would recommend that you guys do is use the selections that we created last week, right? Those PNGs. And we're going to then go into our toolbox, right click, select the elliptical marquee. Okay. When you do that, you're going to make a nice selection, press Command C, Command V to paste. Great. And let's pop this, we'll pop this right here. All right. Tremendous. So this is actually really critical. So we're going to do fear for Matthias, but I'm going to shift him over a little bit. I'm going to then use the elliptical marquee again, because what's going to happen is we only want to apply the liquify function to this area. It's going to make your life much easier and it pops up much faster. Alternatively, if you don't make the selection and you press Command-Shift-X, you see it takes a while to load, and the more layers you have on here, the longer it takes. So we're going to simply use the elliptical marquee to isolate this area. We're going to press Command-Shift-X, and I know that we want to give Matthias a little bit of fear. So we're going to replicate this emotion, and to do that I know that we want his eyes to be a little bit bigger, so I'm going to get an appropriate brush size, and let's try that. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. So you're going to be experimenting, and you're not going to get a perfect emotion, but you'll do your best. You're also going to want to use the forward warp tool quite a bit. All of a sudden, he does look like he has the fear of God instilled in him. Let's go like that. All right, now he's definitely afraid. All right, we're going to press OK. I'm going to press Command D, to deselect, shift this over. Great. So let's review one more time. Make sure you're on the right layer. You're going to create a selection. You're going to press Command Shift X. Great. I'm going to be recreating this feeling of disgust. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the brush size. All right, this is not really disgust quite yet, whatever. You guys are going to have fun. Whatever. Okay. Here we got this feeling of disgust. All right. What's absolutely critical, please pay attention, is that on the lower right hand corner, we've got a number of things. You want to make sure that show backdrop is clicked, because if it's not, it's going to be difficult to recreate that emotion. So we want show backdrop. For use, we want all layers selected. The mode is going to be behind, not in front or blend. It's going to be behind, and opacity at 100%. You might have the default at 40, and so you can sort of check the opacity if you want, but you do want to keep it at 100. That's my strong suggestion. We're going to press OK. We're going to press Command D, V to shift it over, and there we've got ourselves some disgust. So what you're going to do is these 6 emotions on the left side of the screen, you're then going to do the remaining emotions on the right side. It might take us a little while. So I'm going to make a selection right here, right? I'm going to press Command C. So we're going to give each row a single face. So you're going to see the transition from one emotion to the next. So for example, we're going to go from concern to anxiety to fear to terror, and to do that, we're going to want to get make sure that the size is appropriate. Makes sense. We're then going to hold Alt and make copies like so. And what I would recommend that you do, so let's say we're going to do fear, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the face down. I'm going to use the elliptical marquee key again like this. I'm going to press Command Shift X. So we see we've got both the face in the bottom and fear. We're not doing joy, even though I see that we're going to be recreating fear. Likewise, we're going to maybe make her eyes a little bit bigger. We're exaggerating. We're going to use the forward warp tool like that. She's afraid. She's scared of the Common Core tests. Great. Well, let's press OK. Command D to deselect. And there we've got that sort of continuum, that spectrum, that evolution of emotions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really looking forward to seeing your work. You're going to make sure that your name and date are on this. Additionally, you're going to want to, above the background layer, create a new layer using the rectangular marquee, because we want this to look professional, right? We want this to look good. So beneath the faces, but above the layers, you're going to use the rectangular marquee. I've got white and my paint bucket selected. I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to press G for paint bucket. Bam. And that looks pretty good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that none of the illustrations are visible in the background. You do a great job capturing the emotions. Can't wait to see your work. Good luck.